So over the last 18 months, there's been a huge amount of interest in generative AI tools like ChatGPT. We're seeing them embedded in many of the software tools that we use in our everyday lives. And there's been a lot of interest in the educational sector in how they might be used to, if you like, supercharge our learning and teaching. Using the tools to assist with planning reports or identifying references to consult, or maybe in more quantitative subjects to look at ways in which they can assist with laborious or time-consuming calculations. So all of that is the landscape that our students are going to be moving into in the workplace. We recognise that there's an absolute priority to equip our students with the skills they will need to use these AI tools in the future. So our position on that is that AI is with us, that we need to embrace that, to find ways to allow AI to enhance our learning and teaching, not to inhibit that learning and teaching. At the same time, we have to ensure that the standards and integrity of our degree awards are maintained. And that essentially means that we've got to make sure that our students are demonstrating their skills and their critical abilities and not the skills of AI software that they've used. So this may require some modification to our assessments. And we recognise that our approach to assessment will be enhanced overall if we encourage the use of AI appropriately in learning and teaching while limiting its use within assessment. So we're planning to hold an assessment and feedback practice and policy event and to give colleagues an opportunity to find out about the impact of generative AI tools on assessment, to share information about the support that we have available in schools and colleges to support their redesign of assessment, and also to give them an opportunity to ask questions that may be specific to their discipline and practice. Our event will provide a particular focus on the learning through assessment framework and through the lens of inclusivity. That's an aspect which many colleagues have shared that they find most difficult to navigate when it comes to assessment redesign.
The Learning Through Assessment framework is an approach that we developed over a number of years of consultation with staff, looking at the evidence about how we should be assessing, and it really sets out 4 pillars that would underpin how people think about and design assessment for actually any form of learner, whether that's undergraduate learners, postgraduate learners. The framework has 4 pillars: iterative, programmatic, meaningful and inclusive. And we've settled on those as being really important principles. We want to make sure our assessment is inclusive for students in terms of, particularly in terms of students with disabilities, but we also believe that assessment that's designed to be inclusive is really good assessment for everybody. The thread that runs through it all really is that we want to focus not on the assessment itself, but on how students learn through the process of assessment, what kind of formative feedback they get and how they respond to the feedback they get on their assessments, so that it's a constant process of learning through a course and that they don't solely focus on, a grade that they get at the end of the course. What we would really like is for staff to feel much more confident in understanding what the Learning Through Assessment framework is, understanding that actually assessment isn't a thing you think about after you've designed the course. The assessment is really critical to how we think about the entire course and the student learning experience. Feeling able to actually reduce some of the assessment, see where there might be opportunities to reduce the burden on students whilst not compromising academic standards and evidencing learning, because these things can sometimes feel a bit like they're in conflict. And particularly from the point of view of AI, being that bit more assured that by adopting the Learning Through Assessment framework, thinking about their own assessment, they're going to make their assessments much less vulnerable to the sorts of practices that AI can allow students to adopt if they're feeling under pressure or if they're just not sure of what they're doing. But equally, allow students to appropriately use AI where we think that that's a useful tool for them to be able to use, both as students and in the future.